So to all the Patreon members, I want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. Do me a favor, check out the links in the description box below. Hit the like button, share this video. Let's get into it. So I have an article right here brought to you by Tiger. You know, I like it's a clever name. Thaiger. All right, so this article right here, Thai court delivers justice. Sinai serial killer sentenced to death. All right. There's a woman right here. And there's another picture of her that I have. It was actually an older picture of her. I don't know how long it's been going on, but her older photos when she was younger, she didn't really look that bad. So I haven't really fully read the full article. My angle and my message behind this article right here is something that I'm going to share with you outside of just talking about a woman who was sentenced to death for unaliving 14 people. All right, so stay tuned. Be patient for the message. The criminal court of Thailand delivered a nail-biting verdict today, sentencing the notorious Sinai serial killer to death for her chilling role in the murder of 14 innocent people. The criminal court wasn't pulling any punches as her accomplices didn't get off lightly either. So this woman had people helping her. The Sinai serial killer's ex-police officer husband, Police Lieutenant Colonel Whitten, I can't pronounce that. It's hard to pronounce Thai names, has been given a 1-year jail sentence while the murderer's lawyer, got 2 years in prison. So it's like your husband and your lawyer was in on it. I'm like, what role did he play for him to only get 1 year? Right? You know, if you're an accomplice to a serial killer, I'd assume you get way more than one. He probably recklessly, provided her with some information without actually knowing what she was going to do with that information. Today, November 20th, the criminal court scheduled a reading of the verdict of the murder. That's her, also known as M. Cyanide, with a husband and a lawyer. The courtroom was electric as families of the victims, including this person, grieving mother, awaited the verdict, clutching a photo of her beloved daughter. An emotional mother vowed to seek justice, revealing the gaping hole left in her life since her daughter's death. I want justice. I don't want my child to die in vain. Don't trust others easily, even those close to you. People can't afford to hurt each other to the brink of death. Okay, the chilling case has gripped the nation since springing into the spotlight 19 months ago. Hold on real quick. Was accused of coldly poisoning her 32-year-old friend with potassium cyanide during what should have been a peaceful outing to release fish at, her friend, her so-called friend. Well, who's this right here? What's happening? Well, you got a man's watch on, the big ass watch. Like, go ahead and put on that 32 millimeter. She got a 41 millimeter watch. Man. That big ass watch on. Hold on. Tragically died alleged while her so-called friend watched on pocketing her valuables worth over 154,000 baht. So she was poisoning and stealing money from people. The court ruled decisively on the case, which saw staggering 15 related instances brought to prosecutors after the initial incident on April. Reportedly coming turned over to cover her tracks with their legal team. All three bold enough to deny their charges and fight accusations. Co-defendants initially found themselves temporarily bailed out on 100,000 baht each, which is only like $3,000, less than $3,000. I mean, that's a lot over there. Yet to revisit 14 other cases involving. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Here's the message I want to give to you guys right here. Is number one, not only you should be careful who you surround yourself with, but don't accept food and drinks from people. All right. There's a lot of cases. Well, I won't say a lot, but there's several cases in America of like Asian university students poisoning their roommates. Some of them were black, right? There was an Asian female, there was an Asian male who were like poisoning their black roommates in college. Another black and male female, all right? So I'm not just saying that this is an Asian thing, poisoning. No, I'm just saying like um this type of thing, for it to happen over in certain countries in Asia, it doesn't surprise me as much. It's still shocking and chilling because the first people they want to target are friends and family. I actually watched, I actually saw, what's his name, Ray Williams Johnson. I think that's his name on TikTok. He does those cold cases, not cold cases, but he does those. He talks about interesting criminal cases from the past, right? And there was this one young boy who was just into poisons and poisoning people at a young age. And the first people that he poisoned was a young white male. The people that he poisoned were like his friends and family, right? His family first, his sisters, his mother, his brother. People died off of how, the amount of people that he poisoned. Then he would get into relationships, and when he was done with the chick, he would just poison them to death, and they would just pass away. I want to say this: do not accept food and drinks from just anybody, right? Even if it's your significant other, and y'all going through a rocky road. I hate to say that, but this is why. Whenever I was living in Thailand at the time, for those that don't know, I lived in Thailand off and on for about 8 years, 6 to 8 years. I would always eat at the mall. I would never eat on the street. I would never order street food. And there were restaurants that weren't connected to a mall that I would eat at that I got food poison and had strep throat several times eating at some of these other restaurants outside of the mall. So I would only eat at the mall because I know there's a team of investors behind, what goes on in the mall. And there's health inspectors that go to the malls, right? So I was always healthier whenever I ate at the mall. But I'm here to say, like, be careful who offers you food and drinks. When I was at university in Thailand, I did not eat or drink anything that people offered to me when I was at school. A lot of times people come through with food, drinks. I remember we had like Culture Day. We had several different events at the school. I remember Culture Day was one, and people bought food and drinks, and then we had, one time we had to set up like a market inside of the gym. Because the culture of Asia, they have all these markets. So the school in different majors at the university, they had set up like their own market. It was something we had to do. And a lot of people made food, drinks. I did not buy any of the food or the drinks. Didn't eat it. Right. Now the food served on campus, I sure as hell ate that. Right. But food and drinks that came from students, neighbors, co-workers, you name it, never ate it. I remember one time after I graduated and I got a job in Thailand, somebody had brought some food to work. I had a bunch of coworkers. Somebody had brought some food to work, and they offered it to us, and I was like, no, thank you. Right, I'm full. Right, I just don't eat anything from anybody, even if it looks good. I'm like, I'm not. No, thank you. And a bunch of people got sick from eating whatever it is that they ate in that kitchen. So I want to say this, man. This woman was on something totally different. She was intentionally trying to unalive people, and you know, I don't think everybody's out to unalive you. But see, the thing is when I don't accept food and drinks from people, you know, I'm not thinking that they're trying to unalive me. I'm just thinking like, hey, I just don't want to eat it. I just don't eat, and I don't know what you have in here. I don't know what spices or herbs you have in here. It might upset with my stomach, right? I'm not thinking that somebody's intentionally trying to kill me. So you could have not you could have not accepted food and drinks from this woman, and it seemed like if she wanted you dead, she was going to find a way for you to consume whatever it is that you didn't want to take up on her offer, which is dangerous. And if I see somebody's like really trying to push for me to eat or drink whatever it is that they have to offer, I would not leave. Like I wouldn't even kick it with somebody like that, right? And if I'm in the moment and I got my own, and I won't even eat whatever it is that I have and leave it unattended if you have somebody like this, right? Because I'm pretty sure a friend ain't looking at it like, hey, this is a serial killer hanging around her. No, like everything probably seemed normal, but jealousy, envy, made this woman want to like, hey, no, I see the value, of her belongings. I could probably get about 4,000, three or four bands out of this chick over here. Right. So whenever you travel abroad, that's one of the things that I want you guys to be aware of is stay away from mom and pop restaurants. I hate to say it. I haven't heard too much from like China. No, excuse me, Japan. I haven't heard from too many guys saying that, I had food poisoning, this, that, and the third over in Japan. But in China, Thailand, uh, Taiwan, you got to be careful also. Be careful eating at these mom and pop restaurants, right? I know you want to try the food and how they cook things their way in their country. It's okay to do that every once in a while. Don't do that every day. All right. You got to make your own food because, this to the side, I can't tell you how many times I've either gotten food poison or, I had strep throat in Asia because of the food I was eating out there on the street. Right. The stuff they eat don't mesh well with our gut. All right. The oils, the ingredients, it doesn't mesh well sometimes. Right. You can go through a whole year in America eating at different restaurants. The worst thing you'll probably have is a cold. Right. That'll be one time in a year. Whereas like you go out to Thailand, you go out to China, you go out to Taiwan in certain places, man, you get strep throat for no reason. And it's not even because the food is bad. It's just because, the stuff they cook their stuff, it's totally different than what we were raised on. Our gut wasn't raised on a lot of the things that they eat. Right. Um, and that's not to deter you away from trying new things over there. It's just be careful. Right. Don't always just eat out. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Um, This article right here it's cold. Really go down the list of all the people that she took out. What relation were they to? Management reported that the court has yet to revisit 14 other cases involving. Yeah, it's like they just named off one of them, which was her friend. So, anyways, you guys take care. I might do a live stream maybe at midnight. So if you're still up, I'll do another video. You guys take care. Peace.